In the headlines, APC Presidential Campaign Council asked Atiku to resign over corruption allegations. Suspended police ASP accused of killing Lagos female lawyer arraigned in court. Nigeria's inflation drops to 21.34% after steady rise in 11 months. Away from Nigeria, 19 dead, dozens injured in Senegal road crash. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for joining. Beginning with political matters, the Tinubu-Shettima campaign organization has called for the arrest and prosecution of the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, for alleged money laundering and breach of penal and criminal codes. The organization, which made the call during a press conference in Abuja on Monday, maintained that Atiku does not enjoy any immunity. Addressing journalists, the heads of media directorates of the organization, Dele Alake, Festus Keyamo, Bayo Onanuga, Femi Fani-Kayode and Idris Muhammad also urged Atiku to resign his candidature and apologize to Nigerians for allegedly using private accounts to siphon monies from the public treasury. According to them, the campaign organization will pursue legal means to seek the former vice president's disqualification from the elections next month for alleged corruption. The development comes on the heels of corruption accusations by Michael Achimugu, a former aide to Atiku. Achimugu had claimed that the PDP chieftain used the special purpose vehicle scheme to take funds from an ex-Plateau State governor, Joshua Darie, who was convicted for misappropriating the ecological fund. The former governor, who has been pardoned by President Muhammadu Buhari, was governor during the same period Atiku served as Nigeria's vice president, specifically from 1999 to 2007.
Now, we want to make the point that Atiku does not enjoy immunity simply because he is a presidential candidate. And we're saying this because we understand that the law enforcement agencies may be reluctant to act simply because of the perception or persecution of a presidential candidate that this may evoke. However, facts are sacred. The facts so far presented to the world clearly indicates that Abubakar has a case to answer. He has an explanation to make. In other climes, when such serious allegations arose, in the middle of campaigns, the law enforcement agencies acted decisively. You may recall that in 2016, in the middle of campaigns for the exalted office of the Presidency of the United States, the of private emails against Hillary Clinton when she was Secretary of State. In fact, the case was referred to the Justice for likely prosecution few weeks to actual voting. Though she was later cleared, it has restated that a sane and dispassionate system never allowed such side talks to dissuade, to distract them from initiating a process of investigation. That is all we're asking for. It is the minimum expected of in a constitutional democracy. That is what we call authorities to do in the case of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. He has to be arrested, to be invited.
The presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general election, Peter Obi, is facing a fresh disqualification suit at a federal high court in Abuja over his alleged possession of citizenship of two countries. Obi was dragged before the court by another political party, the National Rescue Movement, which, among others, alleged that the presidential candidate is no longer fit, proper, and qualified for the highest office in Nigeria on account of his dual citizenship. The plaintiff in the fresh suit against Obi is praying the court for an order to disqualify him from the presidential race on the ground of breach of the 1999 Constitution. In the suit, the Labour Party candidate was accused of acquiring citizenship of Dallas in Texas, United States of America, in breach of Sections 1 and 137 of the Nigeria's Constitution. The party, through its counsel, Muhammad Danjuma, asked for an order of perpetual injunction restraining the Independent National Electoral Commission from recognizing, dealing, or affording Peter Obi any right or privilege to stand for the presidential election. When the matter came up on Monday, Justice Inyang Eko lambasted the plaintiff for the inability to serve the originating summons on the defendants. Justice Eko thereafter fixed February 10 for mention of the suit and threatened to strike out the case should the plaintiff fail to serve the court process on Peter Obi before the adjourned date. Now, the need for youth to resist vote buying and political thuggery in the forthcoming election has been stressed. Stakeholders in Yola, the Adamawa state capital, stated this during a sensitization on permanent voter cards collection. Salis Lawan reports.
Barely 40 days to the general elections, stakeholders in Adamawa said prospective voters must collect their permanent voter card to elect credible leaders. A sensitization campaign on PVC collection kicked off from Mobi Runabout, passing through Yola Major Street and terminated at Police Runabout, is aimed at mobilizing women and youth to get their cards before the January 29 deadline. They said the idea behind the campaign was to sensitize the electorate on the importance of PVC collection, urging them to vote for good leaders with the masses at heart.
The end of this rally was to achieve peaceful general election. We want to see large turnout of youth and women elections, and then we want to see Adamawa State conduct their election in a free, fair and credible manner.
Other stakeholders also speak on the importance of the permanent voter card collection.
If you see the statistics of the current registration, about 40% of registered voters are students. So I think it's prudent, also it's necessary for us to call on the students to go and correct their voters card and participate in this exercise. And as is made, the current situation of this country, the students are at a disadvantaged place. So by voting, we can also regain our stake in society, and we can also fight for our rights.
Because the importance of peace in our society cannot be overemphasized, and it's good that we say it out so that people know the importance of the next coming election. We should do it conduct the election in peace, and peace will be the yardstick of our development in this country.
Religious and traditional leaders were also present during sensitization and awareness campaign. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
Gunmen have attacked the Independent National Electoral Commission office in Enugu South local government area, killing one police officer. INEC National Commissioner Festus Okoye, in a statement on Monday, said the Commission's office in Enugu South local government area was attacked by unknown gunmen on Sunday. He said, fortunately, the attackers could not gain access to the main building as a result of the rapid response from the police and army personnel from the 82 Division. The State Commissioner of Police and the REC were personally at the scene immediately after they received information about the attack. Of the two policemen deployed to protect the facility, one of them lost his life while the other sustained injuries and is receiving treatment. He said the incident is under investigation by security agencies, adding that the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security in Enugu State, co-chaired by the REC and the Commissioner of Police, has been convened to discuss the latest incident and map out strategies to better protect INEC offices, personnel and materials. Now, the arraignment of Drambi Vandi, the policeman accused of killing a Lagos-based lawyer, Omobolanle Rahim, on Christmas Day last year, has begun at a Lagos High Court sitting in the Tafawa Balewa Square. Vandi was arraigned on a one-count charge of murder before Justice Ibironke Harrison. He pleaded not guilty to the charge. Now, the arraignment, which was scheduled for 9 a.m., was initially delayed by the late arrival of Vandi's Ade Tokumbo Odu Tola. Now, in furtherance of the commitment of the Nigerian Bar Association to ensure justice in the matter, the president of the bar, Yakubu Michael, SAN, the chairman of the NBA Lagos branch, Ikechukwu Owana, and other executives of the association were also present in the court to monitor proceedings. Vandi, an assistant superintendent attached to the Ajiwe Police Division in Aja, Lagos State, allegedly shot Bolanle Rahim while she was returning from an outing with her family members on Christmas Day. Bandits have attacked Jajar Kanwa village in Jibia local government area of Katsina State, killing 2 people and wounding 3 others. However, one of the wounded persons, who is a woman, reportedly died at a hospital in Katsina. Reports from the community confirmed that the bandits also abducted 6 people, including a pregnant woman in the process. Similarly, an unspecified number of goats and sheep were wrestled after the bandits imposing a levy of 20,000 naira on each of the residents. Some residents of the community said that 20,000 naira levy, according to the bandits, must be paid within 1 week or they will be attacked again. Now, most of the farming communities in Jibia, Batuna, Safana, Musa, Kankara, Faskari, Sabwar, and Andume have been devastated by incessant terrorist attacks in the last few years. The Commissioner of Police in Niger State, Ogundele Ayodeji, has visited Lambata and Gurara local government areas over the killing of a village head, Mohammed Abdul Safur, who was attacked by irate youths in his residence. The CP, while condoling the district head and family of the deceased, assured that the perpetrators of the act will be apprehended and made to face the consequences of their actions. He admonished the family against any form of revenge, but to allow the criminal justice system to take its full course to ensure that justice prevails. Similarly, the commissioner visited Kafin Koro in Paikoro local government area, where Reverend Father Isaac Achi was burnt to death on Sunday by bandits. He noted that the assailants set the residence ablaze and the fire suffocation led to the death of the priest before the body got burnt. Still on security matters, operatives of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in Zamfara State have arrested a POS operator simply identified as Mustafa, accused of making financial transactions on behalf of bandits. The commandant of the Corps in the state, Muhammad Bello Muazu, who spoke with journalists, said that Mustafa was arrested in Birnin Saba community in Zurmi local government area of the state. Muazu said 2 POS machines were seized from him by his team on a spot and search mission while being brought from Abuja to Zamfara. He said that the suspect confessed that machines were bought for him by a bandit leader, and if they want to buy items such as drugs, fuel, foodstuffs, they sent somebody directly to him to collect the money to buy whatever they want for them. Now, Muazu further said that they have advised the state government to temporarily suspend the operations of the POS, especially in rural communities. You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at improved sanitary conditions for girls. Details of this and more after the break.
Daily Trust presents 20th Daily Trust Dialogue. Theme: Interrogating the 2023 Presidential Agenda. Panelists:
Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika, former Chairman, First Bank of Nigeria.
Professor Jibrin Ibrahim, Professor of Political Science and member of the Board of the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD. Dr. Yetunde Anibaba, Lecturer, Analysis of Business Problems, Lagos Business School. Dr. Eugene Enahoro, Human Capacity Development Specialist and CEO, Heltoni Services Limited.
Chairman of the event, John Cardinal Onaikon, Archbishop Emeritus of Abuja.
Date: Thursday, 25th January 2023. Time: 10 a.m. Venue: NAF Conference Center and Suites, Gwarimpa Expressway, near Next Shopping Mall, Kado, Abuja. For sponsorship and branding participation, contact 081 00 49 1948, 081 65 32 0660, or 080 33 92 8902. The event will be broadcast live on Trust TV.
That's great. Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Or really, if you look at English squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Welcome back from that break. You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Here's a look at the top stories again. APC Presidential Campaign Council asked Atiku to resign over corruption allegations. Suspended police ASP accused of killing Lagos female lawyer arraigned in court. Moving on, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention has confirmed 42 additional COVID-19 infections in the country in 2 weeks, with Lagos State recording 27 cases. The NCDC made this known via its official website on Sunday. NCDC said that Edo, Kano, Nasarawa, Kaduna, Plateau, and the Federal Capital Territory contributed the remaining figure. The health agency said that the new cases brought the country's total of COVID-19 infections to 266,492. It said that the cases were recorded between December 31, 2022 and January 13. According to the report, the NCDC confirmed that the country recorded 29 new cases from January 7 to 13, and the new cases are reported from Lagos with 15 cases, FCT 5, Kano 4, Nasarawa 3, Kaduna 1 and Plateau 1. The need to tackle poor sanitary hygiene, which has been identified as the major cause of life-threatening diseases amongst women and girls, has again been emphasized. This was the focus of discussions at a symposium organized for secondary school students in Sheyi, an agrarian community of Oyo State. The report.
Adolescent girls face a wide range of challenges, some of which may affect their chances of completing their education, while others may compromise their sexual and reproductive health. This symposium, organized for secondary school girls in Ishayin district of Oyo State, is an attempt to build more confidence in them and inculcate healthy practices that could make their life more rewarding through the use of quality sanitary materials.
If you don't use hygienic sanitary napkins, infection can also flow in. That's infertility that we are talking about. It doesn't just start in one day. It's gradual. If you use shoddy sanitary napkins, that is the cheap ones, they are cheap but deadly, because at the end of the day, you may end up with secondary infertility or primary infertility and all those other ailments that I just mentioned: fibroids, ovarian cysts, cervical cancer, and the like.
Organizers of the event say the major cause of rising infertility and gynecological problems is poor sanitary hygiene. They advise these young girls to adopt healthy practices during their menstrual cycle.
My desire to build strong women, strong female leaders, healthy female leaders. And we start that by helping with the menstruation hygiene, because most women, they imbibe negative vibes while doing their menstruation.
Sanitary materials were distributed to students, while the wife of Oyo State Governor, who was a special guest of honor, lauded the initiative, which she says will produce more healthy women.
Infection is 1, 2,
The fact that it is durable. You can be on it for a long time and you won't get stained.
Stakeholders here say they are determined to totally eradicate the feeling of shame by girls about their bodies. They called on more well-meaning Nigerians to take the welfare of the girl child seriously.
Makurdi residents have called on the media to step up awareness creation against human rights violations in Benue State. This is due to the rising cases of abuses in the state, especially as political activities heighten ahead of the 2023 general elections. Jimmy Azande reports.
Human rights protection in Nigeria is enshrined in documents like the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which Nigeria is a signatory to, as well as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Despite the existence of these legal documents, the media has a big role to play in making sure that Nigerians are aware of these rights, as explained by this communication expert.
The media may serve as a bridge between the community and the security actors in monitoring and enforcing and in reporting these cases, so that as much as possible we can hold people accountable or responsible for what they have been mandated to do by law, which is protecting and enforcing human rights.
As torchbearers of the society, many believe that practicing journalists have a lot to do in the protection of rights of human beings through effective reporting of violations, as many are suffering one form of abuse or another due to lack of media coverage.
Journalists have, a broad role to play when it comes to human rights abuses, human rights protections in the country. We are advocates for even the less privileged and some victims of human rights abuses. Through our medium, you should be able to project their situations or tell their story better to draw government's attention to their plight, because some of these persons are people that cannot even speak for themselves.
Human rights sensitive reporting, so that also they do not violate the right of persons that are also assumed to be perpetrators when otherwise have not been declared guilty by any court of law, and just so they are sensitive to all of these issues.
For some residents, cases of abuse are on the rise because most citizens do not know their rights, as well as those of others as they go about their daily interactions. This is why they feel the media can help inform and educate Nigerians.
Unsecured, we are vulnerable. We are faced with threats, attacks, which may be both emotional and physical attacks. Sometimes you receive threat calls, sometimes people come. For some of us who are even on social media, it is common to find people coming to your thread, saying all sorts of things, giving you names.
According to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, all humans, irrespective of ethnicity, gender, race, religion, and other creeds, have inalienable rights. These include right to life, right to freedom of thought, conscience and religion, right to freedom of expression and the press, right to private and family life, and many more.
The National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission says it has initiated process for the review of the national minimum wage. The Commission's head of public affairs, Emmanuel Njoku, said this in a statement in Abuja on Sunday. Now, Njoku said as part of the process to review the minimum wage, which will be due in 2024, the Commission had held a series of meetings and trainings towards a nationwide monitoring of the Minimum Wage Act 2019. He said the monitoring built to begin on January 23rd will help ascertain the compliance level of public and private employers and organizations. According to him, the monitoring team will, among other things, inquire if employers keep adequate records of wage and conditions of service of employees. Now, the spokesperson called on the federal, state, and local government ministries, departments, and agencies, including government-owned enterprises, private sector establishments, and labor unions to cooperate with the monitoring officers. In a surprising turn of events, Nigeria's CPI is to 21.34% in December 2022, despite the Christmas and New Year festivities. dropping from 21.47% recorded in November, making the new figure the first drop in 11 months. This is according to the latest inflation report by the National Bureau of Statistics. The carefully studied index of food inflation dropped from 24.13% in November 2022 to 23.75% in December 2022. Contrarily, the core inflation index, which does not include the unpredictable cost of agricultural commodities, was 18.49% in December 2022. The difference between this and the 18.24% observed in November 2022 is 24.8 basis points. Now, away from Nigeria, at least 19 people have been killed and 24 others injured in northern Senegal after a vehicle collision. A colonel with the National Firefighting Service, Ange Michel, said that the accident occurred early on Monday morning near Sakal in the Luga region. The bus collided with the truck on the number 2 National Road as it swerved to avoid running over an animal. It added that the injured were taken to the regional hospital, Amado Shakir Mbaye. President Macky Sall sent heartfelt condolences to the families of those killed in the accident, adding that the incident shows the need to strengthen road safety measures in the West African country. And that wraps up the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube channel. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.